Hello everyone, I'm Rear Admiral Kuchar, Commander, Naval Service Training Command. This month, we continue to honor the rich diversity of our Navy by recognizing our sailors, family members, and friends that identify as LGBTQ+. The Navy is united with the rest of the nation and countries around the world to celebrate diversity, acceptance, self-pride, and being the person that you are. For those who identify as LGBTQ+, you know it's been a long and difficult road getting here. Many of those that came before you suffered discrimination, hatred, and harassment. Following that historic decision, our Secretary of Defense said, regardless of gender identity, we must avail ourselves of the best possible talent. We would be rendering ourselves less fit to the task if we excluded from our ranks people who meet the standards and who have the skills and devotion to serve in uniform. He went on to say that this is the right thing to do.
We'll see what that was about in a second, because there are people in media, mainstream or otherwise, whose job it is to prevent people from realizing what time it is. And some of these people literally get paid to do this. And others do it to keep up with the trends or engage in what they call grifting. And others do it because although they do know what time it is, time is scary to them. So they'll come out and try to convince themselves and other people that what's going on is not really what's going on. You know, people got different reasons for doing this. See the clock ticking right there? You see it here?
San Francisco to get to the quarterback here. Prescott takes off running the football. Whoa, I don't think this is going to work out. It will. They'll be able to clock this. They were planning for it. It's down. Oh, my gosh.
Not realizing what time it is can be disastrous. Like in the NFL, how many times have we seen what happens when a player doesn't realize what time it is?
San Francisco to get to the quarterback here. Prescott takes off running the football. Whoa, I don't think this is going to work out. It will. They'll be able to clock this. They were planning for it. It's down. Oh, my gosh. Oh, the official gets in the way. The game's over. Gosh. The game is over. Oh, he did. Oh, they're going to look at this. It's going to be over because the umpire has to touch the ball. Of course, that's ridiculous for a game to end like that, Jim. Wow, I am livid if I'm a Cowboy fan and if I'm a Niners fan.
That's the end of the game.
The game is over. The game is over, and San Francisco.
Not realizing what time it is can mean game over. You know how in these videos I've been talking about how people are now talking about high prices. Now. They see high prices, or now they see prices are about to come. That's some of them right there whose job it is to have people not realize which time it's been.
Did the U.S. Navy
force its sailors to wear rainbow-colored uniforms
during the Super Bowl national anthem?
A few Twitter users got upset
At the uniforms worn by the Navy, believing it to be some sort of statement on sexuality and gender.
with one user saying the Chinese military is laughing.
Multicolored Navy uniforms, or Skittles,
Are worn every day on the decks of aircraft carriers.
not just for the Super Bowl.
The colored uniforms have been in use since the 1920s.
And each color represents a specific job.
Purple handles fuel. Blue handles planes and equipment. Green does maintenance and cargo. Yellow are the plane directors. Red handles bombs, missiles, and firefighting. Sailors in brown are the air wing plane captains. And white are quality control, medical, and safety. These uniforms are designed to make each sailor and their duties recognizable during a stressful situation.
And every day on the deck of an aircraft carrier is a stressful situation.
Okay, what you just witnessed there is him using the truth about those colors that they wear on the ships to tell a lie. The truth to lie. Because yeah, they wear those colors, but he lied with the truth. Because you saw the clip I played earlier in the beginning, the officer in charge advertising the Navy's acknowledgement of Gay Pride Month.
President Joe Biden issued a proclamation recognizing June as Pride Month, underscoring the need to keep fighting to ensure equal rights for members of the LGBTQ community. The Department of Defense is doing its part, with Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin encouraging all commands to, quote, celebrate the rich contributions of all LGBTQ personnel.
The Secretary is very proud to celebrate and honor the service, commitment, and sacrifice of our LGBTQ personnel in and out of uniform. He's proud that one of his first actions after being sworn in was to implement President Biden's directive to ensure that all transgender individuals who wish to serve and who can meet the appropriate standards should be able to do so openly and free from discrimination.
President Biden repealed a Trump-era ban on most transgender individuals serving in the military in January.
And his mission was to blind people to what times we are in. So he explained it away. He explained it in a way to make it seem like an everyday occurrence on those ships.
The Independent Office of National Statistics has conducted vital work on the state of immigration and found the previous government were running an open borders experiment. As the ONS sets out, nearly 1 million people came to Britain in the year ending June 2023. That is 4 times the migration levels compared with 2019. What the British people are owed is an explanation, because a failure on this scale isn't just bad luck, it isn't a global trend or taking your eye off the ball. No, this is a different order of failure. This happened by design, not accident. Policies were reformed deliberately to liberalise immigration. Brexit was used for that purpose, to turn Britain into a one-nation experiment in open borders. Global Britain. Remember that slogan? That is what they meant. A policy with no support, and which they then pretended wasn't happening.
That was the UK Prime Minister. And never mind him pointing fingers at other people talking about the previous government. Never mind that, because he was in on it too. He was in on it too. Him too. But you heard what he said. And what was that? He said that what we've been seeing in different places in the world was deliberate. It's not immigration, it's not migration, nor asylum seeking, but rather it's been the intentional flooding of countries with foreigners. But you'll have people, because they don't want you to realize what time it is, they'll come to you and say, hey, there's always been an immigrant issue. As if what we're seeing is, as if what we've been seeing is organic or natural or an everyday occurrence, like the guy with the gay pride colors. About a week ago, I heard Solar Mind. He did that on Angel's channel last week. He said to her, immigration has always been a thing, so why are people tripping about it now? It's if what we've been seeing is like what we've saw in the past. And the time we're in, folks, is the fourth industrial revolution. Some people call it the fourth turning. The fourth industrial revolution, where it's out with the old and in with the new. But this time, people, human beings as a species, will be part of the out with the old. They're not going to need us like here. They're not going to need us here like that no more. And I'll have this person on the screen. His name is Larry Ellison, but we'll just call him one of Trump's boys. We'll describe him as that. Larry is going to be the one on the screen for most of this video. Him and maybe Peter Thiel, another one of Trump's boys. And they know what time it is. They know that they don't have all day to do what they're planning to do. But us, we act like we got forever and a day to infinity to get it together. And I'm not going to talk about them in depth right now, but Let me give you an idea of what they're into, along with Elon Musk in this fourth turning. This is what time it is.
By assimilating other beings into our collective, we are bringing them closer to perfection.
What do you want, Mr. Quaid? The same as you.
I've talked about how in these past 5 to 6 years, governments have been either dismantling or outright ignoring their Supreme Court rulings. I've also talked about the increase in leaders refusing to leave office. And we saw something with Kamala Harris and how she was just placed in front of us. And the time bandits were all over the place trying to explain it as if it were a thing that could be explained away by way of natural processes. How they were talking about how after Joe dropped out, there wasn't time to run a primary, and if they wanted to run a primary, all they had to do was file this and do that and all this up to shut up.
The sitting president of the United States of America is a Democrat that would like to run for re-election, so much so that he has declared a re-election campaign. Right. In that case, the Democratic National Committee will not facilitate a primary process. There will be no debate stage for Bobby Kennedy, Marianne Williamson, or anyone else to stand on.
So we're going to have another Bobby Kennedy in an empty chair in the debate, right?
There will be no debate.
That sounds fair and democratic, doesn't it?
That was from a year ago. And what does from a year ago mean? It means that they've been had the Kamala thing planned out. But like I said, you have people whose job it is to have people not realize what time it is. And they were on here talking about, well, they didn't have time to run a primary. And you know, they were reading the textbook process and shut up. Shut up. Because what we saw was a coup. We all saw it. You saw it. An American style coup, because this ain't the Congo. Have y'all seen what's going on with the Congo right now? This ain't the Congo. An American style coup. This ain't the Congo or other places where when they want to throw a coup, they just jump up in some Jeeps and storm the palace with AK-47s and start murdering people. You know, I've told people that when Joe Biden was elected the first time, people were saying that he wouldn't finish his term and Kamala would take over as president. And that's exactly what happened. I've been hearing these timekeepers say stuff like, we're going to see things we've never seen before. I've been hearing them say that. But they must be talking about times we ain't never seen before like this.
Can you tell me, can men get pregnant?
Unless you know something I don't, I think the answer is pretty obvious.
What is that answer, sir?
I'm asking you, is there something you know that I don't know that would say that a man...
Well, I'm asking what you know.
You mean like that? During the Biden administration, where we're asking, can men get pregnant? Things we've never seen before is what they're saying.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in this context.
So
I'm not a biologist.
The meaning of the word woman is so unclear and controversial that you can't give me a definition?
Like, what is a woman? Things we've never seen before in this country. Can men get pregnant? What is a woman? Things we've never seen before, like a Supreme Court judge couldn't say what a woman is. And I understand that she wouldn't have the standard Merriam-Webster, Oxford, or Cambridge dictionary in her pocket on hand, but she could have had an idea of what a woman is. She could have said something.
She says.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Secretary Becerra. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you coming before the committee. To start off, as a Secretary of Health and Human Services, can you define for this committee what is a man?
You're looking at one.
Great. So you are a man. I like that.
She could have said, you're looking at a woman.
Gotta add some seasoning.
And I heard a few clowns I heard more than a few clowns try to categorize the questions, can men get pregnant and what is a woman, as stupid questions.
No, that is incidental.
No, they're not stupid questions. The questions are a sign of the times. But like I said, you have those people whose job it is to make sure that people don't know what time it is. The people asking the questions, can men get pregnant or what is a woman, are not asking because they don't know. They're asking because they realize what time it is. But are we going to see things that we ain't never seen before? Of course. I believe so. These people got some very wicked plans in mind for us. But let's not act like these things started on January 20th, 2025. Like I see people talking about the technocracy in Trump's cabinet, and they're looking at Elon Musk. You know, on a side note, I see Trump firing Elon in maybe the next 90 to 100 days like he fires everybody else, even like he did in his first term, but who knows, I could be wrong. But they're looking at Elon now, even though they've been warned about Elon for the past 6 years. And the technocracy itself has been called crazy conspiracy theory by these same people that are now warning people of this threat. And listen, this commentary is not me calling people late or trying to jump on the bandwagon or like I always been knew this stuff forever.
Good, you was quick, you was good on your feet that time, man. But listen.
It's not none of that. This commentary is me pointing out how there are people whose job it is to keep people behind on the times.
Look at my line, it's really fine. If you got the money, I got the time. So don't dance off to J.C. Penney when you can buy great goods from Sweet Linda.
Yeah, watch Elon. He deserves to be watched. He needs to be watched. And yeah, the timekeepers, they got people watching Elon, but don't sleep on Larry Ellison and Peter Thiel.
It's an honor to be here today. We have first full day as president. We're back. And we had a great first term, but we're going to have an even better second term. And I think we're going to do things that people would be shocked at. We're starting off with tremendous investment coming into our country at levels that nobody's really ever seen before. And they're very happy with the fact that I won the race and that they feel confident in their investments. And it's big money and high quality people. So my first day back from having a nice life, it's my honor to welcome 3 of the world's leading technology CEOs. And in the case of Larry Ellison, it's well beyond technology. He's sort of CEO of everything. He's an amazing man, an amazing business person.
The CEO of everything. So don't let the timekeepers get you wrapped up in the celebrity of Elon to where you sleep on Larry and Peter. But the timekeepers, they want you to sleep the day away on Elon.
Reality. We come out February 2nd.
And we also do modifications. So like men can be women, women can be men. We do different heights, sizes, ages, skin tones, hair texture, anything you like.
Can you explain that quickly one more time?
Yes. So here at Psychosec, we produce 100% organically made human sleeves. Here is an example of the two. So the whole point of this is to have your conscious mind but in a different physical body. Let's just say if your child gets hit by a car and dies, you'd be able to retrieve him back but in a different physical being.
And they're only warning people of this Elon threat to, again, keep people unaware of what time it is. To keep people unaware of what time it's been. They don't want people to know that the technocracy was going on even under the Biden and Kamala administration. But because they favor the administration, which is why they're sounding the alarm now. Here, let me show y'all a few things.
I urge the next administration to carry forward 2 issues that have been central to my presidency and which shape the future, in my view. On artificial intelligence, we are in the lead, and we must stay in the lead. We must not offshore artificial intelligence, as we once did with computer chips and other critical technologies. AI has the power to reshape economies, governments, national security, entire societies. And it must be the United States and our closest allies that lead the way to ensure people's rights are respected, their safety is protected.
Said we must lead in AI, artificial intelligence. The Biden administration has been on board with what these timekeepers are now calling a threat now that Trump is in there. And the clip I just played was one of his last addresses since Trump was set to be in the White House again. Now let me show you this too.
The Trump administration prepares for his return to the White House. There is a focus on artificial intelligence. Trump has emphasized the desire for the U.S. to be a leader in the field, saying it is important for economic and national security. Dan Grossman reports on the president-elect's plans, as well as suggestions he recently received from the Software Information Industry Association on how to best move forward.
We want to see the government use this tool.
Chris Moore is the president of the Software Information Industry Association, a group that recently sent this letter to the Trump transition team, highlighting needs for the U.S. to be a leader in the AI space in 2025. The group is nonpartisan, and its letter includes 30 recommendations from increasing federal support for research and development, to passing privacy laws, to imposing export controls to countries like China so the U.S. remains a leader in the field.
Of course, it's politics. There are always partisan edges to this, but a lot of these core concerns run from administration to administration.
On October 24th, the Biden administration announced the first ever national security memorandum on AI, outlining the importance of the technology as it worked to shape international norms around AI to reflect democratic values. Moore says the Trump administration holds those same goals, particularly with its addition of Elon Musk.
Certainly his views on AI are going to have an impact on how the administration approaches it.
They both agree on the technocracy. They don't agree on everything, but they agree on the one thing that the clock managers are now calling a threat. And you can't trust them, even when they're telling the truth.
Me, I always tell the truth, even when I lie.
Now, one more example before I end this. I got a million more, but I'll just give one more. Jasmine Crockett, who is obviously an ally of the fascist, communist, woke, progressive agenda that we've been seeing these past 5 to 6 years. And she's had more than a few incidences in Congress with her extremist modus operandi. And a few weeks ago, she had an incident with Nancy, who is also a great contributor to the circus that we've been seeing in Congress in these recent years.
3, 4, 5 times. And let me read what the last one said. It said, greedy CEO who pretends like he's self-made. Pretends like he's self-made. What a clown. fraud. Always has been, always will be. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me, any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your solution,
Hold it. No, sit down. Sit down. Okay. You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay.
Sit down, please.
Yeah, it's been a bit of that type of stuff going on in there. But Jasmine and Nancy got into an exchange. And Jasmine pretended to not understand something. And in the aftermath, I hear these timekeepers. I hear these people on here, on the internet, repeating Jasmine's pretentious ignorance. Repeating it, because again, they don't like it when people know what time it is. And here's what Jasmine pretended to not know why.
Somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or
Do
not
not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I'm 47 years
emails.
old. And again, to the party who says we don't like or support women, well, guess what? We have two women on this committee who are subcommittee chairwomen who carry gavels.
Let me tell you something. Y'all need to find some people that actually care about their constituents. And honestly, whenever y'all are ready to work, we on this side of the aisle have always been ready to do what is right by the American people. Instead, what you can continue to do is go after the most vulnerable in our country. The fact that you just sat up there and somehow figured out how to tie trans folk to your argument makes no sense to me. But let me tell you something.
You know what trans got to do with it. You know everything about what it got to do with it. You know that. And yeah, the gathering was about the Civil Rights Act, but Nancy kept bringing up the trans bathroom stuff because she knows what time it is.
The fact that you just sat up there and somehow figured out how to tie trans folk to your argument makes no sense to me. But let me tell you something. Trans people ain't going nowhere. Just like when the racists wanted to make sure that black people somehow were going to be dismissed in this country. We ain't left either.
Nancy knows that you're hiding your trans agenda within the Civil Rights Act. That's what trans has to do with it. And the other people asking the stupid question, what does this have to do with trans? Other people were repeating that. The people that were repeating that, they have the same job that Jasmine got. They're on the same mission that Jasmine is on. They all know why Nancy keeps bringing up trans. See, because when the people don't know what time it is or what times we're in, you could hide things from them, like within a Civil Rights Act. But time. It's been a while since I talked about time. And time is pretty much the most valuable thing we have to stop this New World Order Great Reset agenda. And we don't have all day to unfuck ourselves, but we act like we do. Like Chris Webber, who's not even most famous for his career in the NBA, but rather he's famous for that one thing he did in college.
Michigan will have to bring it.
Oh, he walked and the referee missed it.
Weber brings it into the front court. They have no timeouts remaining.
Oh, he causes too many timeouts. That's a technical foul.
He called a timeout. Michigan doesn't have any.
He got by with a walk, and Jimmy calls a he calls a timeout. He doesn't realize that's Michigan's too many, and so it'll be a technical foul. North Carolina shooting and the ball.
There you have it. North Carolina is the 1993 national champion.
The day is coming where it'll be too late to call timeout. That day will be coming where we won't have any timeouts left. Where we say, wait a minute, enough is enough. Because with this fourth industrial revolution, with the system that they're setting up, we won't even have the power to revolt. Won't be no more time on the clock long enough for a huddle. And you know what? With that said, it brings a question to mind. A question I haven't asked in a very long time. I need to ask that question again because we fucking up real bad here. We fucking up bad. Yeah, I'm going to ask that question, but not in this commentary. Some other time soon.
Get up off your fucking ass and start moving, nigga. I know you're oh so fucking smart and about to be oh so fucking dead, and that's where the fuck you ought to be.